Live at the table, Coleman Hughes, Natasha Alford, Trisha McLaughlin, Jay Michaelson, and joining the conversation, the cast of the new CNN original series, Have I Got News for You? Welcome to a special edition of Newsnight, State of the Race.
What I think, from Trump's point of view, I think he's betting that this election is about immigration and that people will forget everything else, even if all these other issues are entertaining and interesting in the news cycle. But I think at the end of the day, he's betting that this election is about one thing, about the border, about immigration. He may be right about that, okay? He might be wrong, but he might be right. And if he's right, it'll be because of this. Nativism is one of the most powerful forces in not just American politics, but world politics, and it is rooted in human nature. Any look at history, this is 100% true. And so we have had the biggest border and immigration crisis, certainly in my lifetime, in the past 3 years. And he's betting that being the toughest as possible on the border candidate and screw all these other things is going to win him the election. It's a high risk, high reward.
And partly because it is the other lesson that he's gotten from the 2016 election,
That's right.
which he also thought he won because of the issue of immigration.
Right. I guess I would take issue a little bit that this kind of nativism is part of human nature, right? It's certainly true for human beings, Homo sapiens, other primates, that we favor our in-group over the out-group. But there are different ways that that can express itself. And given that that is part of our human animal nature, to use rhetoric, it is true that people are suffering and that people have anxieties, but to then fan those flames. We've seen this in the Jewish community before, when Trump supported people who said Jews will not replace us. And then not long after that, there was the Tree of Life shooter who was spouting the Great Replacement theory. So I agree that there's an aspect to human nature that we favor our group, but what wise leaders do is work with that skillfully, not fan the flames of sort of the most violent aspects of who we are.
Trump is far from a wise leader, but he didn't support the people that said Jews will not replace us. That's been now thoroughly fact-checked.
He said there were fine people who marched together with them.
I know, but that's been fact-checked by all the top fact-checkers.
What fine person marches with a neo-Nazi?
No, he said 15 seconds later, and the neo-Nazis and white supremacists, I condemn them completely. So he was talking about the other conservatives that were, not the ones that were saying Jews will not replace us.
So the ones who were like along for the ride with the torches.
It's important to be fair.
I don't think
I think that Jay's making this is a complaint I hear from conservatives all the time, but the central point is actually the one that Jay's making. What's the utility in saying that the people marching alongside the neo-Nazis are fine people?
Because
how does that help?
Well, he distinguished between the conservatives that cared about the statue, and he said the neo-Nazis and white supremacists, I condemn them completely. That's what he said.
Okay, but if I'm marching with a group,
he's making
a conservative, and the person next to me is saying Jews will not replace us,
I wouldn't march with those people, Jay, but I'm saying you gotta respect what he actually said.
Maybe this conversation is actually emblematic of what this day has been like for Donald Trump, which is, these baseless conspiracies about the immigrants in Ohio, defending this 9/11, I can't even call her a truther, 9/11 conspiracy theorist.
And Sandy Hook truther.
And Sandy Hook truther. And it brings up an era for Trump that I think a lot of Republicans would like to forget. They don't want to be talking about Charlottesville. Right. They don't want to be talking about this stuff.